you could also be the next person to change the world because I'm that person. I believe we all are, and that happens when we understand and kind of can accept who we have become. I say that because it's always a process for all of us. When we come into the world, we have no clue of what that's going to be. And figuring that out at times can be challenging or difficult. But I just posted something earlier and I said there is no key to success because that's what we all want. We all want to feel successful in some way or that our lives have mattered or what we're doing, what the work we're doing matters, or that we're manifesting something in our lives that's going to give us that feeling of success or the experience of success. And sometimes that can be challenging depending on who you are, where you were born, what you've come to believe, what you've lived. But I figured that out. And I can say this all the time because I know that a lot of people don't believe that or don't understand it. But you evolve in your consciousness. We all do that. Every single human does that. So there's no difference in any of us except how we have chosen to use our consciousness, how it's been programmed, the time that we happen to live in the world, and what we've come to believe. My life led me to create a new plan. And that plan is leading people to understanding their worth and value and purpose and leading a really great life, becoming happy, moving through all their trauma and all of the difficulties that have held them back. And then they become successful. And it works for every single person because the work that I received was guided. Now, I can say this because I hid it for so long. That's what we do also, because if we don't understand what it was in us, what our unique plan is, because I believe everyone has this divine plan that they were given at birth that they're meant to follow. If they do that, they become successful. But we get off track because we're influenced by society, by what we learned from our family or our parents or people who came before. It doesn't matter. But there's zero reason for any person not to live this great life and to become happy and prosperous and successful, abundant, whatever way. There is absolutely no reason except you don't understand or know who you are. You haven't developed it, you haven't uncovered it, and you haven't come to believe it, and you're not acting on it. Those are the reasons. And I know that because that's the path I had to take. And then what happens when you do that? Magical things begin to happen in your life because you will be in alignment with who you are, with what you were meant to bring to the world, because everyone has something. It took me years and years to even say this or to tell you that, but I know now that I have to tell you because that's my role. That was what my life was given. And at 73 now, I am living it because it's joyful. And to say that to you with all the trauma, all the difficulty, all the challenges, everything that I've moved through in my life, I can tell you that you can get through anything. You can accomplish whatever. It's just going to be your lack of belief. And I have talked about this. I've written it all. It's everywhere because I received it. In 1989, that's the first message that I received from Wilhelm. I wasn't going to tell you what that was. I wasn't going to tell anyone because it didn't make much sense to me. How am I receiving this? How am I understanding that? And then I went through this journey of moving through every difficult, challenging situation that any human can experience in their lives, all of them. I mean, when you hear about a dark night of the soul or something like that, yeah, I've done all of that. Many of them, almost dying several times, I mean, just endless things that happen. And then to come out of it and be healed and to be awake, be to be in love with myself. That's what I'm saying, because that's the difficulty that we have, not trusting that authentic self. When everyone asks about, well, what is authenticity? It is about you becoming that authentic person you were born to be. We don't get there a lot of times because we've been programmed to believe something different. And so over time, People develop processes, people develop information or discoveries. And I wrote something yesterday because I had to go and check this for myself. And I said, did I create something that's going to do something different in the world? And my chat GPT says, yes, you have, because you've experienced healing. You've experienced a new transformational way of being and all of that. And I put it into a video that I recorded earlier. At least I had to get verification as well, but I have the verification. I had the verification when I saw the results in other people. There's nothing that I want more than for more people to understand their worth and value and to live really prosperous, happy, successful lives. When you do that, you're contributing to the world in a different way. I've said to everyone, I didn't, all the things that have happened in our world over the last several years, I was given that guidance. I knew what was coming up. And that was the thing that was challenging for me to accept and for others to believe, because I would receive precognitive information, guidance. Because, see, the information that we all use is all the same. It's just intelligence. It just gets developed over time, and it gets developed by different people who use it. My life led me to do all sorts of different businesses. I was lost for most of my life. I didn't know what I was doing. I went through every tragedy, every difficulty. And then and when I started receiving this information, I still went through more. And then I had to really look at that. And when it was told to me why my life had been that way, why I had moved through that, that was in later on in 2020, I kind of knew, wait a minute, I've got to do something else with this, because now all of this work that I've developed is going to be really useful in the world, because people will understand who they are and they'll move through this transitional period in our world with greater ease. And I've proven that. And so, what I'm saying to you, there is no reason for you not to have everything that you want, for you not to live a life of abundance and happiness and joy, having the right relationships. And I have created a path for you to do that. And the only reason that you won't do it is because you don't believe you can. That's about everything, actually. It's not about just what my work is, it's about you. Because the only thing that we have is our self-belief. And when we don't have that, we can't live that authentic self that we were meant to become. I had a dream in 2005. And that dream said that I was meant to bring into the world something that was going to help uplift humanity. I didn't want to believe that. I didn't even look at it. I put it away. I've talked about that because I hid it for years, because maybe I won't have to do that if I don't look at it. You might have done that as well, because there's something in there that you have. And I can say that because most people who would even listen to a video, who would be here, are probably still searching for that next version of themselves. Because otherwise you'd be off doing it and you wouldn't even be listening to me or really come about in any way. But I can tell you that I've created something that anyone can do. It changes your life. It takes you to the life you're supposed to have. And I guarantee it because I know it works. And the reason I know it works is because it's connected to who you are. I had a consultation this morning with someone who came into my program, and that's what I'm doing when I meet with people now. I'm meeting with them first. And I told her the story about when I received this information that if I met with someone, I had a message for their birthday. And she gave me her birthday because I only need the date and the month and the day. Don't need the year. Year doesn't matter. Because, see, in 2012, I downloaded all this information, and in that information, I downloaded a message for everyone's birthday. And that sounded like that doesn't even make sense. That couldn't have possibly happened. And every person that I meet with, it happens. And they kind of stare at me like, how did that occur? See, I was told that we're all connected to the universe. I happen to tap into it. I happen to tap into that universal consciousness that is aligning each person with who they're meant to be. Now, a lot of people aren't going to believe that. It's only the people who have met with me, who have come into the program, who have seen it, and they see, wow, this really works. And then you will hear people say that I've done so many other things in my life, but I've never done anything like this. You hear one person saying that I worked on something for 35 years and it never brought me this result. And hear other people saying that I've tried so many other things, but nothing worked like this. All of those testimonials are there. But see, it also took me a while to believe and accept that. I'm saying that because you will have the same thing. What we're meant to do is always in front of us, and it's not here. So it's this intangible thing that only exists in your consciousness. And we've had enough studies now to understand that we each have had our consciousness formed in different ways. And you will read all of my work and you will see how I kind of ignored being in this mystic. And then knowing that I was a prophet and received all this information, that was another bridge a little bit too far. Except I know that it has happened. And now I'm giving that to everyone now. That's what I have. And it gives me no greater pleasure than tell every single person that there's no reason for you not to have the kind of success and achievement that you could have in your life because I have the path. The other thing is this, because I couldn't do this before, I couldn't tell you. Part of it was that I thought, how many people are going to come to me? How many people are going to talk to me about this? When I'm doing a channeling session, I can access all kinds of information, cosmic information. And if you even listen to the recent recordings, the recent sessions, you will hear that. And so when I'm doing a private session with someone, I can access more information. And I couldn't do that with myself, though. I wish I had had this information when I was coming about. I would be in a very different place now. But I'm going to be in that different place soon because once you start to really accept who you are, all kinds of abundance comes into your life. That's how this works. So that's why I said there's no secret to success. It's only a willingness to discover it. It's only a willingness to take the steps. Most things, what happen is you feel a lack of confidence or you just don't want to move to that next place and you stay hidden for a while. Or then you might even see it and you still don't believe it. That's a cognitive process that needs to happen within you. Now, but I can tell you again, and I can make this statement because this is why I am changing things, and you're going to see all this information on my program and on my site very quickly because there's no one who could come to me. I don't care who you are. There's no one who could come to me or meet with me where I wouldn't know where you're meant to go next or what's holding you back or what's gotten in your way or why you can't achieve it. That's what happens. And it's come from many, many years of doing this. Now, I'm not sure which developed first because, I spent more than 35 years coaching people every single day and understanding the human existence, understanding this human experience that we are. And so then when I started doing the channeling, starting doing other things, even more came through. And that's what happens in a channeling session as well. So now I can fully say that there's no reason for you not to have everything that you want. And I've said this for so many years because what will happen is most people will look at this and go, no, I can't do that. Nope, I'm not going to do it because I don't have this, or I'm still believing I'm this imposter, or whatever it might be. And the person that I met with today, she finally admitted, she goes, I knew that I needed help. And see, most people won't admit that because you can't see yourself. That's why we go to coaches and mentors and all of that. Mine just came about a little bit differently because I know that you're connected to the divine. I know that you're connected to source, to God, however you think of it. I help you figure out your path because I was given it. I was given that ability. When I talk about my philosophy that's called your life operating instructions, that's what it was. Now, it took all these years of my life to develop it and for it to come about. But what it's meant to do is uplift humanity, uplift humankind because it moves each person to a higher state of understanding and consciousness and joy. And over time, we start to have more of that in the world. That's what goes on. I don't expect everyone to believe this or understand it or join my work. I am just telling you that is what will happen, and that is what you will have in your life. And if you join my work, you will be so successful and happy with yourself. And I can guarantee that because I know it. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Share this with someone else, even if this isn't for you. There may be someone you know who will want this information, who will want to become this really brilliant, successful person, to become happy with themselves, because this work will do that. And when people come to me with their excuses about why they can't do something, I understand them because I've done them all. And then when you start getting tired of your excuses, then you move and then you get something. Every single person has that. Every single person has that worth and value within them. So I will see you guys soon.